everybody. Greetings. So this is going to be our divine love life for the week. I'm not sure. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see. So greetings, everybody. I hope everybody is doing well. So wherever you watch this will be for you. Okay, I have my Bluetooth on, so hope you guys can hear me. This is gonna be a divine love vibes energy. Um, so greetings, everybody. Welcome, 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 welcome. Okay. Um, so how are we gonna do this week is I've already been given the message, so I'm just gonna share it with you guys. Um, Spirit caught me off guard. God caught me off guard today. Um, I was listening to my oldies and stuff. Stevie Wonder came up, and um, Isn't She Lovely was playing. And I never really paid attention to the actual lyrics. Like, I guess I've just always thought it was like a love song, like a romantic song. And it really isn't. So, before we get into this, I like to pray over the energies. I like to pray over this entire message, entire video, wherever you're watching this, whether you watch this 2 weeks from now, 10 years, who knows. Um, so I'm going to just pray over this entire live. And I ask that the Holy Spirit move through this message, move through me, that I, thanking the Heavenly Father first and foremost, and allow this message to fully flow and the Holy Spirit to flow through me. And I remove anything that is distracting. I cast out any distractions, any type of interferences with this message, anything going on with me. I put that to the side and allow myself to be used as a divine vessel, and I allow the Most High God to speak through me and to fill me up with their presence. God, I ask for your presence throughout this entire message and what you want me to say. I feel like this message is going to, whatever the energy is, whatever the message is going to be for those who it's meant to resonate with, it's going to be very, it's going to break like a lot of chains. It's going to free somebody. I feel it. But I just want to open myself up to receive the messages clearly and speak only what it is that you want me to speak, God, and only hear your voice. Only show me the visions that you want to show me, and I cast out and I block and tune out any type of other voices, strange voices, visions, and words that are not from you. May it all be you, none of me and no one else. Okay? All right, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's get into this message. Okay, so yeah, I was just listening to oldies today, and Stevie Wonder's "Isn't She Lovely" came on. And I was sitting with that. First, I listened to the intro. I never noticed it was a baby crying, and I was like, oh, it's about a baby. The song is about a baby. So I looked it up. I was like, what's the meaning of what inspired him to write the song? And what inspired him to write the song was he gave the birth of his daughter, Aisha, I think her name is Aisha. It's with an A. I looked up what the meaning of that name is in Hebrew, and it means to live or to be alive. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. So that in itself, and you guys are all gifts from the divine. That's what Spirit wants you to know. Yes, we're talking about your divine mate and your future spouses and things like that. They are a blessed gift, and I'm going to go into that why what God revealed to me for the message was today. But you are the daughter. Your divine creator. The divine creator sees you as a gift and as a blessing. And and if you think about it, Stevie Wonder, he's blind, right? So your creator, he sees his daughter. It's beautiful. He doesn't know what she looks like. Obviously, I mean, he's blind. At least that's what they tell us. I heard some conspiracies. We're not going to get into that. But anyway, he's blind, right? So he's seeing the beauty of his daughter and he's hearing her. It's not about the look. You are a blessing. You are a gift. It has nothing to do with your physical attributes. You were loved when you first came here, and you're going to be loved when you leave out of here, right? So just know that you too are a blessing and you are a gift as well, okay? Um, so let's get into the message. All right, so Spirit, the message that I was led to was the story of Isaac and Rebecca. I've been hearing the name Rebecca often, Just like I was hearing, like, people were coming to me with the name Ruth. I was getting emails from people named Ruth. I was getting phone calls from people named Ruth. And I was just hearing the name and people bringing up the story of Ruth. And every time I would open up my Bible, I was just like, Spirit, where you want me to go? God, lead me to the scripture, whatever. It would always be the book of Ruth or the story of Ruth. And I'd just be like, okay, I'm not trying to do this. I'm not trying to hear this, but it is what it is. So Rebecca, the name Rebecca keeps coming to me. I have to have confirmation. I got 3 confirmations. So I heard the name Rebecca. Someone was mentioning the story of Isaac and Rebecca, and then the second confirmation was a friend of my daughter. She mentioned her the other night, and then I got an email from somebody named Rebecca. So I'm like, okay, that's my confirmation. So, I have to look into what people's names mean and stuff. So I looked up the Hebrew meaning of Isaac and Rebecca. Isaac means he who laughs and will laugh. And then Rebecca means to captivate, to tie, and to bind. So I feel like what's going to bring you two together is the fact that there's some type of um, laughter, um, some type of connection there where you can be yourself, where you can relax, where it's just, it's a calm relationship. It's a friendship based. But I feel like this person is someone that's going to bring joy into your life. I don't feel like this is someone that's going to be the remedy. That's the thing about it. Like, we're not to look outside of ourselves for someone to complete us. Okay? We're not looking for somebody to make us happy when we're not happy, because there's going to be times where your partner is not going to always be able to fulfill you. There's going to be times where they're not going to be happy. So what then? If this person is like going through their own stuff, what is that going to say? Like, what is that going to do for you? If they're not always happy, you're expecting them to be your only source of happiness. That's unhealthy, right? That's not for everybody, but someone needs to hear that. But this person is going to bring joy into your life. They will be that for you. You're going to be someone that captivates them. Your energy is going to be like anything else they've ever experienced. You guys will automatically be drawn, and there's going to be a tie there. It's going to be a healthy tie, not a karmic tie, not a soul tie. It's going to be a divine tie, something that brings you two together. You're going to captivate this person with your character. I believe there was a reason why God was speaking to me about the Stevie Wonder song. There was a reason why that, because that's how I hear God too. I hear it through messages through music. So there's a reason why I said what I said, was that it's not about your looks. It's not about um, what you've acquired through your whole life experience. It's who you are in essence when you came here, just fresh out the womb. When you first came into this physical realm, that essence of who you are is what's going to captivate this person. It's not about how much makeup you got on, how your hair looks, how your body looks. Those things are, icings on the cake, but they're not the full thing. That's not what's going to capture the man that is for you, the one that is meant for you. That's not what's going to capture this one. Okay, this one right here is different. Okay, all the other ones might have been, after you because of what you look like, or because, your titles, and because you do this, because you do that, what you have, not this one. Okay, so this man is going to be a miracle to you. I don't know what that means. That's just what God told me to write. This man is going to be a miracle to you. Miracle, I feel like they're going to come into your life when you least expect it. They're going to add into your life. They're not going to be the complete thing that fills you, but they're going to add on to something that you already have in your life. Okay, they are an extension of something. God is about to bless you with someone that's very awesome and amazing. I'm just getting this person's different from everybody else that you've been with. You've dated or you've talked to. Some of you have never dated, and that's cool. That's fine. It's different from any person you've ever been interested in, any person you've ever dated. Completely different. Um, some of you guys, this is a completely new person. Some of you guys, this may be someone, but I don't feel like this is someone you've had a full-blown relationship with, or I don't feel that. And the thing about Isaac, I'm going to go back to the story of Isaac and Rebecca. The thing about Isaac was he was a miracle child to his mother Sarah and his father Abraham. Sarah and Abraham were elders. And I talked about them before on my channel when I was talking about miracles and blessings and stuff like that and the timing of blessings. I mentioned their story. Sarah was an elderly woman that wanted a child. She never had a child. So she she was given a prophecy from, I believe it was Archangel Gabriel. If I'm not mistaken, I think Archangel Gabriel came to Sarah and also came to Mary. I believe they're cousins, or is that, I might be confusing it. Forgive me if I am. But she was given a prophecy that she was going to bear a child. It was going to come to pass. She was old, but that promise still came to pass. So you guys might be up in age where you feel like it's too late for you to meet the one, or it's too late for you to get married or to get remarried, or you feel like time is clicking, waiting, you still haven't had a child yet, or you want to have another child, and you feel like time is just speeding up and it's never going to happen. It's a lie. Everything in divine timing. So he was born as a miracle child to this elderly couple, Isaac. Um, this is someone that's going to love and honor their parents or parent, because maybe one of their parents is no longer living or whatever the case may be, but this is someone that does honor their parents and loves their parents. They may have more of a closeness with their mother, I'm getting for some of you. Isaac loved his mother. He adored his mother. That was her miracle child. That was her blessing. Um, this person, he's being sent out by God to find you. This person's being divinely sent to you. He's being instructed not to look towards the women that have certain character. So, like, the type of women that are not suitable to be in a divine partnership with. The characteristics I got was destructive, deceptive, just someone that they're not divinely connectedly, like they're not someone that is, they're not in their divinity. So therefore, these types of women are not going to be someone that they're yoked with. They just don't go. They just don't match. Um, you guys have to have similar beliefs and morals, you and this person, in order for it to work. Um, your religions might be a little different, or your faiths may be a little bit different, but it's something about the belief or the moral part of it that has to match. Um, if you guys don't have the same um, belief in something or faith in something, I have to be careful how I word this, because I don't want people to be like, well, you shouldn't be, dating a person that is of this and of that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, like, you guys have to align with each other. One person can't think that it's okay for kids to smoke and drink, and then you're saying that no, my kids are not supposed to be smoking and drinking at a certain age or at all. You guys can't have that same. You can't have those different moral points. Does that make sense? It clashes, especially on things such as your children, such as your living situation, how you view sex and relationships. Like, you guys have to be on the same accord. You can't force someone to think and believe like you and vice versa, right? So you have to seek out what is meant for you. And I feel like this is what God was saying, is that your husband is going to be led to you because of the the stance that you guys have equally. Okay. Um, and also, they're going to recognize you because they prayed about you. They asked God about you, or to find someone who carries the very character and the heart that you carry, whether they know you or they don't know of you at all. They've sought after guidance about a wife or the one, a partner. They've asked about this. They've gone to God about this in their own secret place. When I say this, again, I'm going to say this often because I feel like people just get it all twisted and confused. When I say God, I'm not talking about a religious God. I'm talking about an essence that all that is, our divine creator. We all have to have our own relationship with God. And it's not going to be something solely out of, the Bible. There's a lot of hidden gems in it. It's very valuable, but there's a lot of things that are not there in the Bible. There's so many other types of scriptures, different things that have been taken in and taken out. People might understand and understand the Bible differently. That's why you have to have your own relationship with God outside of religions and outside of, oh, this has to be this. And some people may not want to hear that either. But I can't tell someone how to have a relationship with God. You have to see God for yourself. Okay? So this person has prayed, they've asked, they've been trying to pull in and call in the one for them and to seek to find the very character and heart that you have, okay? So how they described Rebecca was to be very beautiful and she was a virgin as well. So some of you guys could be actual, literally virgins, or some of you guys may be um, celibate, or you're abstinent at this time. So you've decided not to have sex, or you had, you made that um, promise to yourself or to God, or you just decided, okay, until I meet the one or until I get married, I'm not going to have sex right now. Okay? So that could be for some of you. And virginal energy can also be purity, cleansing yourself. So your energy was beautiful. Let me know if it's still, because it was buffering. I don't know what happened. So yeah, it described her in that way. It says her spirit was pure. So she had a pure spirit. She was attractive, but her kindness, her selflessness is what um, draw the servant in. So Abraham, Isaac's father, ordered a servant of his to seek out a wife for his son. He said, my son needs to find a wife. And the servant prayed about it for God to show them and to identify the character of a woman so they would know that this, in fact, was the right choice for Isaac. And he got the full confirmation that she was God's best for Isaac. So this person's going to have that confirmation because they sought after the type of character that you're supposed to have. And you're already that. You don't have to become it. You don't got to try to you don't have to try to manufacture yourself to match what you think a man wants or needs. You're already going to embody that and be that. So that's why it's ordained. That's why it's divine, because what this person's seeking, you already are that, and vice versa. You don't have to be like trying to appease the person. The person doesn't have to try to appease you, like try to, question you and ask 21 questions so they can figure out how they can manipulate you and be deceptive, trying to be what they think you want them to be. They will already be that, what you're looking for. And that's why it's very important that we know what we're wanting in a relationship. We know what we desire. But most importantly, we want to align ourselves with what's divinely best for us, what's God's best for us, what type of partner is of our highest good. So that's what I'm getting from that. And also, I feel like your family too. This is another thing that God was saying, is that the family, your family and their family, they're going to approve of this union. So no matter the timing, because for some of you, Spirit was also saying that the timing may be very fast, but Rebecca's family, her father and her brother, they agreed for her to marry Isaac. And mind you, Rebecca and Isaac never met. So the servant went out seeking for a wife. Isaac didn't even meet his wife yet, and she didn't even meet him. They don't know what they look like. They don't know nothing about each other. So other than what is being, told, what the servant is telling, Isaac is a man of, of this and of that, and blah, blah, blah. So the servant meets with the father and the brother, right? And they say, this is the Lord's doing. Our wishes are of no concern. So the family, your family, their family, they are like, this isn't none of our concern. This is God's doing. We don't have a say-so in this. So they know that it's divinely orchestrated. Something about this connection that is divine, where I feel like everybody is on board with it. They approve of it. So they don't have a say-so in it. When it's divine orchestration, when it's God's hand in things, we don't really have a say so in a way like where we can stop it, where we can push or we can force it. Everything is already divinely set up and laid out. So when I when I say divine timing is not really based off of years and it's not based off of dates and time. It's based off of your energy. It's based off of the frequency and aligning with what's already in place. Okay. Um, some of you guys too, and it's funny because because the whole baby thing, the what was it, the Stevie Wonder song "Isn't She Lovely"? In the beginning of the song, it's a baby crying in the background. So I was getting something about babies as well, some of you, and it's funny because we were just talking about Sarah. I don't remember what the title of that video was, but I was talking about the story of Sarah, but I can't find it. I don't remember. Anyway, I feel like yeah, that was one thing I almost forgot. The as far as like this relationship is going to move very quickly. It's going to come together very quickly. So it's like when you're being led to move on this and your person is being led to move on this, you just gotta say yes. Say yes to God. Say yes to the dress. I don't know, but because it's going to happen quickly. You're not going to be able to just be like, oh, I can't, and I'm not ready, and oh, I don't know about this. And if it's right, it's divinely right. I'm not saying to force yourself into something because the thing is like, you will already, it's something you desire. It's not, you're not going to force yourself to be with someone that you don't want to be with. This is, you both are coming together because you both want to be together. It's not forcing one person or the other to be with someone. Because a lot of times we get caught up and we think like the next person that's good on paper, that's a good guy or good woman, that means, oh, this is the one, even though I'm not really drawn to this person, I'm not really attracted to them. It feels forced. That's not it. That's not how this is going to work. This is going to be the person that not only looks good on paper, but is good on paper, but they're also someone that you are attracted to and they're attracted to you. It flows together. It's good. It's good thing. It's a good thing on both ends. You're not forcing yourself. Your parents are not forcing you. None of that is happening. Um, but yeah, it's gonna move quickly. Also, it's going to take you trusting in the divine plan of things. You have to trust God even now. That's another thing. You're gonna have to completely trust the divine in all of this divine orchestration. So yeah, I feel like there's gonna be a birth involved with this. Isaac and Rebecca did give birth to Jacob and Esau. They are twins. Now, I have been hearing this for like over 2 years in all of my messages that some people are going to be having twins. I don't know. Some of my viewers back then probably already did. I don't know, but I keep getting that still. So I do feel like it's going to be more common for people, maybe, or whoever is watching this specifically. It's most likely that you guys are going to give birth to twins or you're going to adopt twins, something like that. Um, but yeah, I feel like the biggest thing is when it comes to like my messages right now, it's not like I'm not being instructed to ask how someone feels about you and all of that. Like that's just not where it's at right now and what this person wants to say. And I have to honor where I'm at and where God has me in the messenger, like as a messenger, what I'm supposed to say at this time. Like I'm not being led to tap into that area. So unfortunately, if that's something you want to hear, you guys can go to another channel. But I feel like at this point in um, my as a messenger, for those who are meant to resonate, you're at a point in your journey where you are more so preparing yourself for it to come in because it's not far. I don't feel like it's gonna take you forever to find the one, and I feel like some of that stuff is um, it's not really helpful always, and it can become a crutch to always like wonder how someone is feeling about you and what are they thinking and what do they want to say to you, and you're not doing your internal work. Like that's not being emphasized. If your heart is not right, if your mind is not right, if you're not in the right space to be in a healthy relationship, um, why worry about love if you're not going to do the work? See, this is the thing, like God or whatever you want to say, the universe, whatever. It's not going to place something in your lap that you're not ready for. You're not energetically ready for. Everything that we attract is a reflection of what's going on within ourselves. So if we're not ready to receive, and that's the thing, like a lot of people want to be in union or they want to be married, but to be married, it requires a lot of self sacrifice. It's not always going to be about you, and vice versa for the other person. It's a lot of compromising. It is a lot of selflessness that goes into a marriage. A marriage is to be a helpmate to someone. You are a helpmate to your partner. So you have to be a helper to them. And if it's all about how somebody makes you feel, it's all about how what they think about you. You're not going to go far in a relationship if that's the only basis of what you feel like a relationship is. So to even be of a service to your partner and for them to be of a service, like you guys have to be right within yourselves first. So then this is what God wrote me. And as I'm speaking to you guys and how God has me speaking to you is the same way that He's been speaking to me. Like I'm a worker and I have to think about it too. Like, Chenoa, where are you at with all of this? Like, are you ready? Are you sure? So the question is, are you ready to be someone's helpmate? Are you truly ready? Because I feel like a lot as empaths and stuff like that, we've been givers all of our lives. That's just what we do. We naturally just give, even to those that don't really deserve the kindness. It's been taken for granted. So this time, though, where you're at, this time in your life, it's coming from a place of true balance, boundaries, and healing. Um, you're have to allowing yourself not to be manipulated and controlled and allow others to take your kindness for weakness because you're healing, right? You're learning the difference. You're discerning the difference between how much to give and who to give it to. So at this time, healing is important because everything that we attract is just, in essence, is a relationship with where we're at with ourselves. So let's take, for instance, if I'm wounded in a place of abandonment issues, where I grew up in a childhood where I didn't get the proper love and affection and attention as a child should get, right? I didn't get validation from my family in a healthy way. Wasn't given positive affirmations as a child, good job, you're smart, you know, um, some kids didn't get the unconditional love that everyone deserves. Unconditional love is what true love is, meaning you don't have to earn someone to like you and to love you, or you shouldn't have to bring good grades and home in order for your parents to love you. We should be loved, period, just as we are. And that's the same in a friendship, in a relationship, a romantic relationship. Unconditional love is an exchange. It's free flowing energy, a just because energy. It has nothing to do with how good you look or how much you say I love you to a person. It should just be. It's not something that has to be earned. Okay? So wounded people, we tend to operate in a place where we overextend and we overgive because we think that by subconsciously by giving, this person's going to love me and they're going to receive me back, right? Or a person needs to do such and such, do this, do A, B, and C in order for me to believe that they truly love me, right? We can even hold people up to a standard of how they should love us rather than being open to them just giving the love that loving us in a way that they know how and what their love language is, right? Nothing wrong with expressing, um, I like when you text me good morning or text me that you love me. I like when you send me sweet messages, or I like when you hold my hand. And maybe some people, they don't like holding hands. That doesn't mean that they don't love you, right? So you have to be able to discern where you're coming from. So if you operate, let's say a person that operates like that, where you got to prove to me that you love me, or I have to overly give in order for you to see my value, my worth, so that you love me back, and I'm losing people. Y'all ain't ready. People is not ready. I'm sorry. Like, it is what it is. That's just what it is. People are not ready. That's why the whole twin flame stuff is popular. That is why these love readings and stuff is so popular, because it just feeds into your ego. It feeds what you want to hear. It's only an aspect of something. There's nothing wrong with hearing how somebody feels about you. Nothing wrong with that. But if that's all you're worried about, you're not going to get too far in a relationship that's healthy. If that's all you're worried about, completely invested and obsessed with a person, you're not going to get too far with that. It is what it is. Um, I'm not even looking at the chat. I'm sorry. It probably was good that I wasn't looking at the chat, because I don't want to be interrupted. But greetings, everybody. So, yeah, not everybody's ready for that. And it is what it is. Don't force yourself to be ready for something, but don't get mad when love is not coming to you, or you keep attracting the same type of men or women, because you're not focusing on yourself, and what not taking accountability for what you can do to better yourself. You're not focusing on what you can do to correct yourself. Putting all of your focus on how someone, what they think and feel about you, or what they're doing wrong and what they're not doing right, and you're not looking at yourself, you're not going to be able to withstand a relationship of substance. So why do we attract partners that are not of our highest good? Because there's still some things within self that have yet to be healed. So just as the example that I was using, a person that has dealt with abandonment and has not received the proper love and attention as a child, as an adult, they're going to seek out partners that um, they feel like they have to love and give them all the attention and affection, and look outside of the self for that love, and try to prove that they're worthy to people and to a person. And it's not going to attract a healthy partner. That's not a healthy relationship. And sometimes you could have the right person come into your life, but if you're not healed, you're not ready, it's not going to flow. It's not going to flow in a way that is light, that is peaceful, that is harmonious. It's going to be friction. And any married person will tell you, just because I'm married doesn't take away the things that I have to work on within myself. My partner is not perfect. We still have things we need to work on. So it doesn't, just because you get married or you meet your one, doesn't take away what's going on inside of you. You can't patch stuff up with a person. So in a way, are you ready to be someone's helpmate? And you have to be honest with yourself. Because let's say you have issues with codependency, you seek validation from your partners, um, or you're controlling. You don't know how to allow things to flow. Your person has to do A, B, and C, or you're overly independent. You don't know how to take instructions from a man, or if you are a man, you don't know how to be reciprocal to take correction from your wife or your woman. It's a stubbornness, like, no, I got this, I can do it. You know what I mean? Like, we have to really think about this on a deeper level, beyond how does a person feel about you and what do they want to say to you. Is this person emotionally open? A lot of times when you're wounded, you're not emotionally open. You're not in a place of emotional availability, because let's say you have fear. You operate in fear. If, let's say, abandonment issues or rejection issues, you think that you're open to love because you want it so badly and you desire it and you seek after it, but there's a part of you that is hidden, your emotions, you're not completely open to love because there's that fear of being abandoned again, which is why you feel the need to control the narrative of how the relationship is supposed to go and how you can hold on to it, how you can hang on to this person because you're afraid. Again, fear is the opposite of love. Fear is not a divine energy. Fear is a low vibration. So if you're operating in fear, you're not emotionally open. A person that is emotionally open and available is receptive. There is no fear. Yes, there is a chance that this person may leave you. They might break up with you. They may fall out of love with you. That is a fear, yeah, but it's a chance. So in order to even be receptive to love, you have to be open to take that chance. Be open with your emotions. Be honest and truthful with how you feel. Emotional intelligence, that's something God has been working with me as well. I have a hard time expressing my emotions. So let's take that into account. So if you're a person that's operating in fear, abandonment issues, rejection issues, and your focus is to keep this person or to keep a person around you or to keep them loving you or whatever it is, right? Not to lose your grip on this person. Again, codependency. Because love is meant to be free flowing. It's meant to be liberating. You or your person should never feel like you're stuck. You should never be made to feel like you're restricted, that you can't be your authentic self. Constantly living in fear: is this person going to come around? Are they not? Are they going to leave? Are they going to come back? Are they with this woman? Are they looking towards this woman and that woman? Like, you shouldn't have to live like that, right? It's not healthy. So if I'm in that abandonment energy, I'm going to attract a person that also is unemotionally available. They're distant to me. They're not going to be completely open to me either. We're operating off of the same frequency. I'm codependent. I want this person, but I'm not emotionally open because I'm afraid to lose them. And then this person over here is like repelling that energy because it's pulling them away more than it's pulling them closer because you're tight gripping a person. And they themselves may have some wounds. So it's like, I'm not emotionally open either. So it's not a healthy relationship. Until you get to a place with yourself that you're emotionally open with yourself, you have that intimacy with yourself, and you're able to have healthy intimacy with friends and family, expressing yourself. You're not afraid of losing someone. You've changed your shift in perspective on love. Love is not something that you have to earn or you have to perform to get or to manufacture yourself to be something you're not to get. Love is something that is free. It is something that is your birthright to receive. You are loved. You already are loved. So anything or anyone that cannot give that to you automatically, that's like, I don't deserve that. If you're not able to give love, you're not open to me, why am I wasting my time when I could be open to someone that is also available and open to me? Some men, and I've been through this before, some men are not going to deal and put up with that too much longer. That type of codependency, that controlling, that insecurity stuff. You know, I've pushed some people away with that. You can't. They're not supposed to. No one's required to put up with that, and you're not either. So we gotta get a little realistic. We can't just be all in the whole fluffiness and thinking like, yeah, blessings and miracles are going to happen in your love life, but you gotta be in a point where you are able to receive it. Gotta be in the frequency to even have that energy come to you. Because your energy could be closed off if you're stagnant, and a lot of people are stagnant. These, and I no shade, and just calling it as I'm saying it is what it is. A lot of people are stagnant and lost and stuck in a cycle. They're watching these same type of messages that keep telling them the same stuff, they're saying the same thing, or appeasing them in one area, and they're not feeding them. It's not feeding the spirit. It's not feeding them. It's feeding the ego. It's a feel-good thing for a moment to hear how somebody feels about you. And if you're lucky, you'll hear, oh, this person's in love with you and he can't stop thinking about you. He's stalking your social media and all that little childish stuff. But when does it go beyond that? Where is this person at on their journey? Is this person even on my level in a divine way to even be worried about this person? Like, we got to think about these questions. Like, You got to think about it in a realistic standpoint, and it's an escapism too. And I'm not judging because I was all up in that, and it's like hell. It is hell. You might feel good for a second, but you're right back at it again, wondering, okay, well, what's really going on? And a relationship, a true divine connection, should not leave you in that place of stuck, and of anxiousness and worry and a cycle. That's deceptive. And I always have to express this too. Like, God is not, our divine creator is about creating things, creating the new, about fresh new beginnings, rebirth, transformation, starting over, newness. It's not about repeating cycle. It's not about being stuck and stagnant. That is deceptive. That is a trick of the enemy. It's not, that's not from God. That's not how relationships are supposed to be. But a lot of people are wounded, and that is why people, and I get this question a lot of times, why do I keep attracting the same type of men? Why do I keep having the same type of scenario in my love life? And it's because when you're wounded and you're not acknowledging the fact that you're wounded, and you're putting all of your energy out into somebody else rather than figuring out, okay, what within myself, what is going on with me that needs correction? Because I might be able to identify the fault in another person or my exes and things like that, but where do I stand with this? And this is a non-judgmental look at yourself. It's more of you're just being honest with yourself. You're being courageous with yourself by saying, okay, I might have something that's a little bit of a problem, and I want to correct it. I want to heal. Is healing fun? No, it's not. It's not always easy. It's not fun. It does take a lot of patience. It does take a lot of compassion for the self. It does take a lot of patience, as far as it does take mindfulness. It does take time for you to really sit. And it's very painful at times because it might bring up some stuff that you don't want to think about. You don't even want to go back to. But it's liberating once you identify that. So I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing. I've never been a sugarcoated person, period. Whether it was with cards, whether it was just spirit speaking through me, it's not going to ever be that. It's never going to be that. I'm not going to sugarcoat you. I'm not going to surface level, um, you know, deliver a message for somebody. Even if that means people don't like it, and it sucks sometimes. I get in my feelings about it and be like, oh, but not everybody's going to like it. It's okay. And I'm not here to force feed anybody to want to heal themselves. That's your own responsibility, whether you're ready to heal or not. I'm just here to um, encourage and help people heal in the way that I'm divinely led to. For those that want to hear it and are open to that, that's it. If it's something that you're not ready to do, that's fine. Admit that to yourself. I don't want to focus on my healing, or I'm not ready to heal. That's fine. But I'm just saying, you got to be honest with self and really, truly, really look at yourself and look at your relationships and where you stand in relation to that, and why maybe these things are happening, rather than looking out on the external, maybe thinking, oh, well, maybe it's because they don't think I'm good enough, or they don't think I'm pretty enough, or because if I just lose a little more weight. And we know that doesn't change anything. I mean, people say this all the time, like the most beautiful women, they still get cheated on. It has nothing to do with your looks. It's about what's internal, what's inside. And a lot of beautiful women, unfortunately, they go after men that don't have anything to offer them. Regardless of how much money they have or how good they look, they don't even have anything to offer other than their money and their looks, the external stuff. So it's not about that. Every relationship we have with anyone on this earth in this lifetime is a reflection of a relationship we have with ourselves. So if you have a healthy relationship with yourself, you're not going to put up with unhealthy relationships with anybody else. You're not going to put up with people disrespecting you. You're not going to put up with people lying to you, wasting your time. You won't even desire to be with someone that's in a relationship with somebody else. That's another thing too. It is what it is. I'm gonna just keep it 100. And I've been there where um I've been stuck in a situation because I thought that it was supposed to be and it wasn't. I've helped people that dealt with situations where they were stuck on a man that had somebody else. And I'm not judging nobody. It happens. But we have to take into account, like, where is all of this coming from? And we like to blame it on, oh, what level are you spiritually connected? What level are we spiritually connected? Because we're all connected in some type of way. You guys wouldn't be watching this reading if there wasn't some type of spiritual resonance with me and me with you, right? So we got to just discern, like, on what level. And that's why you have to have a relationship with God, within self. You have to know God for yourself. You got to seek that guidance. You can't go off of your ego. You can't go off of your emotions and what you've been taught. Um, and I'm gonna call it out. That twin flame dynamic, I don't know where it came from, but I feel like whoever created it either was someone that was heavily delusional, wounded person, or someone that channeled some information from some type of source that was malevolent. Because that dynamic is it's not healthy. I don't care what nobody say, and people will probably shoot you if you say there's no such thing as twin flames or that the whole energy of twin flames is demonic. And I'll say it. I'll be the one to say if nobody else says it. Again, I'll say this. Um, what's for you is for you. God is not going to put you in a circumstance where you're waiting for someone to leave their wife or their husband or their partner. God is not going to play you like that. That's like saying God sees you less than. Like, I'm going to give you what someone else has. I'm going to put you in a situation where somebody else that's married with someone, even if they're not happy in that marriage, I'm going to put you in this circumstance where you're going to pine after that person for years, and I'm going to put you through all this heartache waiting for somebody to get it or to be with you. That's not God. That's not how God works. That's not how an unconditionally loving spirit works. Sounds a little deceptive. It's like a trickster spirit, if you ask me. And God don't play games with us. So you gotta ask yourself, where does that come from? Why are you constantly thinking about a person all day 24/7? Sometimes it's God trying to get your attention about something, putting a person on your heart. Maybe you're supposed to reach out to this person. Maybe it's something that Spirit is trying to show you, or they're a distraction to you. Obsessive, like it's, I feel like it appeases people that have obsessive behaviors. It appeases people with the spirit of um, bipolar disorders, schizophrenic, people that have this schizophrenia, people that deal with abandonment issues and rejection issues. Your wounds are being exposed with these connections. I will say the good thing about them, because what the enemy uses for our bad, God uses for our embetterment. So if it was that this situation was something that someone innocently tapped into, not knowing that they received some type of benevolent or malevolent guidance from somewhere that wasn't trustworthy, or this person capitalized off of some type of bullshit, excuse my language, and had just a whole bunch of people just falling in line with it, deceiving a lot of people. It's like a mass deception. It is. There's people that's still waiting for somebody to, like, choose them and to be with them, and oh, we're gonna be in union soon, and half of these people are just like playing you. They know how desperate you are to love for love, or how desperate you want to hear that somebody wants to be with you, and then the guys or the females that you think are your twin flames that are interacting with you, may have even slept with you. They know that you'll put up with their stuff. They can come in and out of your life. They can sleep with you and then leave you. You know, spiritual pimps, spiritual whores. They suck your energy. A lot of y'all dealing with succubus and incubus energies. They're not divine. If he's your divine masculine, he wouldn't be still sleeping around with this one and that one. He wouldn't be sitting here with a wife messing with you. If she was a divine feminine, she wouldn't be spreading her legs to this one and that one. They can talk about spirituality all day, every day. And another thing too, like, I hope my sister don't mind me saying this, but she was like dealing with this guy, and she was like, I can't believe he was like that. You know, he was breaking down scriptures, and he was blah blah blah. He was this, he was that. And I said, the devil knows scripture too. So what? A person can project all day, and that's why I say y'all gotta use y'all spiritual discernment out here. Like, y'all just be watching stuff because it sounds cute. It sounds cute. You just be just tapping on videos, just watching it. He can't wait to speak to you again. You just sit there and you listen to it and you watch it and you get sucked into it because it sounds cute. Y'all gotta use your discernment. You know how they say the devil doesn't come to you with the red horns and the little cape and the little, you know, little fork thing, whatever you call it. He disguises himself as an angel of light. So a person that is, I'm not coming at anybody specifically, but I'm just saying to use your spiritual eyes. This so-called divine masculine, they can have everything that you think that you want and blah, 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 but Spirit's always going to expose that one thing, because God is not a God of deception. You might be deceived, but God is going to leave a sprinkle or a trail or something to be like, it's there, I'm showing you something. By their fruits, you will know them. So let's say this guy has everything. He's telling you he's in love with you. He wants to be with you. But he's in a marriage. He's not even man enough to tell that woman he can't be with them because he wants to be with someone else, or, and I don't condone that, but let's just say, like, at least keep it real. They can't even live their authentic truth. So that in itself is a loophole into something. That's something right there. That's something right there. The right person is not going to mess up. They're not going to be, yeah, we mess up, we fall short, we make mistakes. But someone's not going to gamble, like, intensively gamble with a good woman or a good man on purpose. Like, oh, she'll be there when I need her. Oh, let me go over here and sleep with her real quick. Or I'm not going to call her for a couple of days because I know she'll be there when I call her. Or, oh, he going to continue to pay my bills. He ain't going nowhere. Oh, you would never do that. It's not going to cross your mind. And I say this too, that runner chaser stuff is dangerous because I feel like the twin flame stuff, like I said, there's a wounded group, there's a schizophrenic group, there's a bipolar group, people that have completely delusional disorders group, and narcissists are also drawn to this type of dynamic because it's like if nobody, and some of these mental illnesses tie into the narcissistic traits, but a person that is like, I want you and nobody else can have you. Oh, I'm just so great, I'm so special, I'm the divine feminine, I'm divine masculine, and I'm so special, and everybody else is just trash in comparison to me. Like, it appeases different types of groups of people. That's why I feel like it's not from God. The twin flame dynamic, whoever created that, that's not a concept that came from a benevolent spirit. The runner and the tracer thing is unrequited love situations. Some people are not even in an interaction, like have never been in a healthy relationship with someone, or they've never been in a relationship with this person at all. It was an illusion in their mind, because we can create ties and cords to someone emotionally by constantly watching them, looking at their pictures, thinking about them. You create a cord, so your reality starts to merge into that. And then you start seeing signs of synchronicities, and you start having dreams, and you think that that's God, but really what's happening is you've opened yourself up. You've opened yourself up to that. You've opened yourself up to that energy. So you have to be discerning, because a true divine connection is reciprocated between two energies. You're never going to have to chase someone. You don't have to prove to someone that you're the one and convince them that you're the one. You don't have to be convinced by someone that you're theirs, and that's abusive. That's manipulative. That's deceptive. That's toxic. So I'll be the first to say, if nobody else says that, that is not of divine energy. It's not divine. It comes from something else. And it sounds cute. That's why I say the devil disguises himself as an angel of light. It sounds cute, but there's a lot of loopholes with that. That's not a divine connection. And everything that the divine does, everything that our divine creator does, the darker forces imitate it. They're weak imitations, right? It's like somebody that a Vegas performer dressing up as Michael Jackson. Like, they might have it down packed a little bit, but they'll never carry the essence of Michael Jackson. So like with this twin flame stuff, divine ordained connections and marriages and unions that God creates and brings together, the enemy is going to infiltrate that and duplicate it, but it's a lot of bullshit in it if you look at it. I hope I'm freeing somebody out of this. Like, I hope this is freeing somebody and like waking somebody up. Because I had to sit with this for a minute. Deep in my spirit, I always knew something was wrong with that. And I always felt it, even when I was caught up in the whole thing. And it was just deceptive. How long are you going to have to wait? How long are you going to have to wait for somebody to, like, choose you or to be with you? Like, how long? Like, how? And so you get the clue that love is not meant to be like this. It's not meant to be a cat and mouse game. It's not meant to be toxic and abusive. And I'm even sad for some people. Like, some women think that a man that's putting his hands on them is their one. That like really like hurts my soul to hear that. Because God's never going to put you in a relationship with somebody that puts their hands on you, beats you up, and calls you all kind of names and calls you bees. And that's another thing too that nothing will expose a man faster than a man that says he loves you one day and the next day you're all kind of names other than the beautiful person that you are. You're going to be all kind of names to that person. That's how you expose a lie. That's how you expose a deceptive person. Person that loves you will never utter the words that you ain't good enough, you're not this, you're not that, or you're a B, you're this, you're useless. That is word curses. How could a person that loves you speak word curses over you? Because they don't love you. So I say this not to um, make anyone feel bad, but if it's like making you feel something, it might be triggering something inside and you need to pay attention to that. I'm not going to support that. I'm not. I'm not going to support that bull stuff. That stuff it is a deceptive thing. It's deceptive. Yeah, you don't wait for anybody. You wait on God. You wait on divine timing. You wait for the right time and the right person. You're not waiting for someone to come into your life. You're waiting for spirit to align you with the right person and them to align with you. If you're sitting here waiting for somebody to wake up or waiting for someone to leave their wife or their girlfriend, their boyfriend, their husband, or making excuses for them because you want them so bad. And I say this like it's not forcing you to just completely let go, because I remember I would hear certain things and people would tell me things about a guy that I was with for years, and I wasn't ready to hear it. Like, my family would tell me they don't like him, he's this, he's that, like, look how he's treating you, he's not doing this, he's not doing that, and I would just make excuses for him because I wasn't ready to let go yet. I knew deep down in my heart that that was not a good relationship, but I wanted it to work so bad. I wasn't honoring myself. I was even my worst self in that relationship. I was toxic myself. So if a person brings out a dark side in you and triggers things and actively and purposely provokes you, they are not for you. Because the opposite of that is somebody that is going to edify your spirit. They're going to be somebody that encourages you. They're going to add into your life positive things and vice versa. They're going to elevate with you. They're not going to be jealous of your success and vice versa. You're not going to be jealous of them, trying to keep them hidden because you don't want no other woman to look at them, or he doesn't want anyone or man to look at you, or think you think you're better than me. And I can see that situation. You don't deserve that. You don't deserve that. And we can miss a good thing if we're not ready. That is why I stress so much healing. Heal, heal. You see it on social media. You see it on all these spiritual pages, shadow work, inner child, all of that. That's a part of your healing process. That's all that is. They just put a label on it, like everything in the spiritual community has a label. It's just another way of saying, I need to heal. Got to take accountability for ourselves. And the narcissistic abuse propaganda is also very, very popular. But we can't blame the narcissistic person for too long, because once you see that they're an abuser and you wake up to that, you got to take accountability and say, okay, I see you for who you are and I'm not dealing with this anymore. But if you see that it's wrong and you continuously put yourself in a place of a victim, you're not really in a place of a victim anymore. Because it's easy for people to also charm people and be like, oh, I'm a victim. That's deceptive in itself, too. Because if you're a victim, sometimes it is hard to leave after you've been abused. I know what that feels like. But it gets to a place where it's like, okay, I see this person is toxic. They're unhealthy for me, and I need to get out of it. I can't play victim. And also, what role did I play? What was my accountability in all of this? Because I saw the signs. We always see them. It's always that. But you have to have compassion for yourself. When I say have compassion for yourself, you you see the things in the areas that you might feel like, I regret that, or I feel like that was a mistake, or I'm upset with myself because of this. Have compassion and say, yeah, that happened. I did that, or I allowed that to happen. But where I'm at right now, I can completely shift out of that energy. A lot of people don't know how to receive that help. A lot of people don't know where to start with that. I'll speak from my own personal experience. Talk to someone that you know um, is a healthy guidance that can help you discern it, like help you to tap into the things that hurt, and it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. And it sometimes even hurts for some of us to admit that we played roles in some of the things and um, patterns that we had, that maybe we were being deceptive in some cases, or we were being controlling or manipulative. Um, that's painful to admit, but it's freeing, it's liberating. Another source, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, God, the all that is. When I confessed and I said, God, I am dealing with this. I don't know how to handle it. I don't know how to heal myself of this. I don't know how to free myself of this. Help me. I need your help. I can't do this. I don't know where to start with this. Help me. You're always going to get the solution. Trust me. When you put yourself in a position of saying, I want help and I want to be healed, you're going to. And sometimes it's going to hurt. Like, let's take, for instance, a person that is a drug addict. They don't want to be on drugs anymore. It's not easy, and they got to go through that process of completely going cold turkey without their drugs, and it's painful. or alcohol addiction, sex addictions, and these are all spirits, by the way. And it hurts because there's a part of you that's dying. You're killing that part of your spirit. You're killing that part of you that is not. It's not. It's foreign to the body. It doesn't belong there. So the process of death is painful, but it's necessary if you're going to grow, if you're going to level up, if you're going to have transformation. The healing process is not fun. That's why a lot of people deter from it. They don't. It's not easy. I'll tell you. There's some times where I'll just like know it's something that I need to heal, and I'll be like, I want to go to sleep. That's my favorite thing. I'm gonna go to sleep, like try to sleep away my problems, but it's just gonna pop right back up. However it does. However it does. So where you're at, a lot of you have already been on the journey of working through yourself. I'm not here to condemn anyone and tell you that you haven't. But if you know deep down in within yourself that you're seeking something and asking for something when you haven't done the spiritual work, you haven't done the soul work, you haven't had that time with God just between you and spirit where you're healing and you're being stripped of a lot of things, where you're being stripped of your ego, you're being stripped of your trauma, you're being stripped of the blockages that's keeping you from the things in life that you want, not just love and relationships. You got to go through those pressure points. That's what makes a person. When you go through those series of pain, that is going to be your testimony. When we're in the thick of it, it seems like the world is against us. There's a tower on my back. There's a house that's laying on my back. I can't get up. I feel weak. Those are the moments where you really learn and you seek God. You got to be stripped sometimes of even people around you. Like sometimes people ain't picking up their phones when they call, like when you call them. Nobody's checking on you, or you just went through a breakup, or you got into an argument with your friends or your family or something, and it's just you, and it's just like the lonely period. But when you're in that period, that is where you go within and you seek God within you. You got to go within self. Is it fun? Is it easy? Always no. But I'll tell you one thing. The more and more that I've drawn closer to God, the more at peace I feel. Because I know that I'm not alone, and I know that what I'm going through, it's a purpose to it. And it's hard sometimes. And I'm grateful and thankful that I have spiritual support from people like sisters, like spiritual sisters to help me. Or God will send, random support, or people that watch me on YouTube, or people I've built relationships with via YouTube. They'll email me randomly, but it'll be at a divine time, and it'll help lift my spirit. They'll say something that I know it's God speaking through them. There's moments where I do want to give up. Even at this point on my channel, this is a painful transition. I'm like, God, you want me to like just completely just leave my cards? Nobody's gonna want to watch me. Nobody's gonna want to hear what I have to say. And like, what if I can't channel like how I usually do? I was leaning on my cards. This is a painful transition, and I'm like, I don't know where I'm gonna fit. I don't know if I'm gonna fit in anymore with the spiritual, community, the tarot community stuff, the readings, and then I definitely don't know how I'm gonna fit in with, you know, the Bible people, the people with the prophetic words and messages. I don't know how I'm gonna fit into all of this. I'm like, God, you put me in fucking lion's den. Like, what am I doing? I don't know. But I know that it's stripping me. This is a spiritual death. We go through many spiritual deaths and awakenings. We don't just go through one. This one happens to be my biggest one. Like I'm being stripped of something that I've been doing for over 5 years. I don't know anything else. And it's like, it's amazing, but it's scary. Like, God, are you sure? I don't know. I'm not going to fit into this. Like, people are going to probably look at me like, oh, she's a Bible thumper on the other side. And on the other side, it's like, who is she to speak about God? Look at her. She reads cards, or she read cards, or she does this, and she has crystals, and Who is she? I'm just like, I have to trust God. The process of death, spiritual death, not easy. It is not easy. It's not easy. So I would say to you guys to be encouraged in your season of pressure, because it's going to lead you to a place of much more. You're just elevating. You're just stripping your flesh more and more. Some points it's easy, like, oh, okay, I got that out the way. And some points it's like, oh, I have to do this. Oh, this hurts. Why I'm going through this? Why have you forsaken me, right? But it's a bigger purpose to that. I pray that whatever God is doing with my channel right now, and whatever God is doing right now, what we're talking about is even healing somebody right now and leading you to a place where you can receive the good that God has for you, and that you're not trying to seek it outside of yourself. You're not trying to force it, that you don't fall victim to the deception in anything anymore. And when I was, because before I read, I always pray, like I'll go into that place. But I heard God say to me, this message is going to break some cords for somebody. It's going to break some cords, some chains for somebody. And it's not me. Like, I can't take credit for anything that I'm saying, because it's nothing but God. And even as I'm speaking about my experiences, God was in it. So even as I'm speaking about that, I can't take credit for that. So if something that's coming out of my mouth is helping somebody, it's triggering someone to heal, it's snapping a cord off of somebody, or it's breaking some type of um, spirit off of you, because some of you guys were dealing with that spirit of abandonment, or you had the veil over your eyes, you had something or someone that put a veil over your eyes, even that is being stripped. And if that is the case, I ask God to fill you up with divine discernment and clarity to see things in a divine perspective, a higher perspective, to see things clear and to see things in the way that they are. Even the things that you can't physically see, but you see them spiritually. I'm going to close this out in a little bit. I wanted to, and I'm going to share this with you guys. Another question. I have this book. I don't always read it. I read it when I'm led to, though. It's called Proverbs 31 in 5 minutes a day. It's a Bible study book, but it's like about the Proverbs. If you know anything about Proverbs 31, it talks about, you know, a good wife, what that means, or a woman of God, what she represents, right? Um, Not to get too Bible on you, but there's different questions that are asked in the discussion. And the page I was guided to turn to, it says, what is weighing heavy on your heart today as you think about your own fears for the future? Take it to God and remind yourself that He will provide. So the question again was, what is weighing heavy on your heart today as you think about your own fears for the future? So what is it on your heart that's heavy, that's worrying you about your future? Whether it be in regards to your love life, whether it be in regards to your finances, your job, your career, your health, your children. What is it that's weighing heavy on you? A test result, the election. What's weighing heavy on your heart, and how can you take it to God to remind yourself that He will provide? Because it's proof. Whenever I take something to God and I ask for something, I ask for clarity, I ask for peace. It may not exactly happen immediately when I ask, or the answers that I'm seeking may not immediately come, but it's going to. That's one thing for sure. I can attest to that. I don't just be speaking about God just because it sounds cute or because I'm some type of religious freak or Bible thumper. I speak of the Spirit of God, not the religious aspect, the spiritual aspect of God. And I'm, like I said before, I've been getting back into my relationship with God. It's been a long time where I actually spent time with God, where I actually like heard God clearly when it comes to the things I've been going through. I've been cheating myself out of seeking other people to tell me what I need to know or going to the cards rather than going to the direct source because the cards are just a tool. So I've been rebuilding that relationship slowly and hearing God in different ways and seeking God fully. I don't even have a desire to even touch my cards anymore, like at all. Even in my readings I do personally with people, I don't even touch them. It's like it's I don't have the desire to. It's weird. Like even with things, because I'll still have questions about life and what's going on with me. I don't go to the cards anymore. I go straight to the source. And I would say that for you guys too. That um, I would say this too. That before you come on and watch a video, whether it be mine or somebody else's, or you pay for a reading or go watch something, um, seek the source first. If you still feel like you don't have the clarity that you seek, then seek out someone that you feel like um, is in the permissible position to even speak over your life. Because that's another thing too. Like we just watch anything, and it may not even be God telling us to watch it. I know I'm guilty of that, and I'm not talking about readings. I haven't watched a reading in I don't know how long, but like just anything, whether it's a conspiracy theory video, whether it's the news, whether it's a gossip site. Like I have to be careful with that because if you're not being led to watch something or to pay for a reading, open yourself up to someone going into your divine portal. Like you're paying somebody that you don't know essentially to go into your energy field to read on a situation. You got to know that person's intentions. Maybe this person does have good intentions, but maybe their headspace is not in the right place. Maybe they're going through something. Maybe they don't know how to cover and protect their energy from outside forces. Maybe they're not covered and they're just allowing energies to come in, and that could add deceptive energy. I'm learning a lot. Even that's why I was always adamant about praying before I read, because I know that sometimes my flesh can get in the way, and protecting from hearing sources that are not God, and being careful I'm not picking up the person's energy of what they want me to pick up on. You know what I mean? Because some people can project in readings where you'll pick up something, because there will be a friction there where I will pick up a message and the person will be saying something completely opposite to what I'm getting, and I'll be like, this person is projecting something. They're saying one thing out of their mouth, but I'm reading something completely different, and there's friction, and they're like, oh, that, really? That doesn't make sense. It's almost like, no, bitch, you better read that again. I don't want to hear that. And I'm glad that I had that protective shield around, because if I would have left it open, I would have been open to the projection of what they're trying to want me to read, or what they want me to say, what they want to hear, and I would have gave them a false message. Just because it's in their heart doesn't mean that that's God's truth for them. So when you get readings, make sure that you ask Spirit to show you if you're supposed to get a reading, or if you're supposed to get a reading from this person or that person. If you're watching a reading, make sure that you're using your discernment whether or not that's a reading you need to be listening to. The person can have good intentions. They may be extremely accurate, but if it's not your message at the time, you might be guided not to watch it, because if you watch it and they're saying something and it's not where you're at, it'll cause confusion, or it'll be something you'll say like, oh, well, you said that this was going to happen, and it may have not been for you at the time, if at all. Use your discernment. Because I'm just saying that for those of you that watch readings, for those of you that are not into readings and stuff like that, you even have to be discerning about who you go to asking stuff about God, even if they read Bibles and they pray and all that. Get permission from God if this is a message that you're supposed to receive. Even when you watch my messages, Make sure that this is something that is meant for you at this time, and you're not just listening to something and just taking it on, taking the energy in just because. Okay? Um, do I want to do? I was gonna like pray out of this book as far as like praying as a future wife, because this book, I love this book. I just got it, and I've only read like a couple of pages I was led to read, and um, there's a prayer here about, preparing yourself as a wife, or if you're already in a marriage, how to also put yourself in a position of a wife and stripping yourself of certain things. So I really felt guided to this. So if you guys don't want to hear this, you guys can leave now. No shade, no hate. Much love to you. If you guys want to say this prayer with me, we can. It's from the Power of a Praying Wife book, and the prayer is the wife's prayer. Where is it at? Well, it starts here. So if y'all want to stick around, you can stick around. If not, I'll catch you guys in the next one. I know I talked y'all ears off, but hey, it's all good. Much love to everybody on the chat. I appreciate you guys. Okay. So I'm going to pray. I'm going to invite Heavenly Father in with this prayer for those that are meant to receive this. Let them have the ear to hear. You have this book? Wow. So let's get into it, okay? It says, Lord, Divine Father, I thank you. Lord, help me to be a good wife. I fully realize that I don't have what it takes to be one without your help. Take my selfishness, impatience, irritability, and turn them into kindness, long-suffering, and the willingness to bear all things. Take my old emotional habits, mindsets, automatic reactions, rude assumptions, and self-protective stance, and make me patient, kind, good, faithful, gentle, and self-controlled. Take the hardness off of my heart and break down the walls with your battering ram of revelation. Give me a new heart and work in me your love, peace, and joy. I'm not able to rise above who I am at this moment. Only you can transform me. Show me where the sin is in my heart, especially in regards to my husband. In your case, you could be, well, I mean, you already have one. You're just affirming it even more, right? So I confess the times I've been unlovingly critical, angry, resentful, disrespectful, or unforgiving. Help me to put aside any hurt, anger, or disappointment I feel and forgive the way that you do, totally and completely, no looking back. Make me a tool of reconciliation, peace, and healing in the marriage. Enable us to communicate well and rescue us from the threshold of separation where the realities of divorce begin. Make me my husband's helpmate, companion, champion, friend, and support. Help me to create a peaceful, restful, safe space for him to come home to. Teach me how to take care of myself and stay attractive to him. Grow me into a creative and confident woman who is rich in mind, soul, and spirit. Make me the kind of woman he can be proud to say is his wife. I lay all my expectations at your cross. I release my husband from the burden of fulfilling me in areas where I should be looking to you. Help me to accept him in the way he is and not try to change him. I realize that in some ways he may never change, but at the same time, I release him to change in ways I never thought he could. I leave any changing that needs to be done in your hands, fully accepting neither of us is perfect and never will be. Only you, Lord, are perfect, and I look to you to perfect us. Teach me how to pray for my husband and make my prayers a true language of love. Where love has died, create a new love between us. Show me what unconditional love really is and how to communicate it in a way he can clearly perceive. Bring unity between us so that we can be in agreement about everything, May the God of patience and comfort grant us to be like-minded towards one another. According to Christ, Romans 15:5. Make us a team, not pursuing separate, competitive, or independent lives, but working together, overlooking each other's faults and weaknesses for the greater of the marriage. Help us pursue the things which make for peace and the things by which may edify one another. May we be perfectly joined together in the same mind and the same judgment. I pray that our commitment to you and to one another will grow stronger and passionate every day. Enable him to be the head of the home as you made him to be, and show me how to support and respect him as he rises to that place of leadership. Help me to understand his dreams and see things from his perspective. Reveal to me what he wants and needs, and show me potential problems before they arise. Breathe your life into this marriage. Make me a new person. Give me a fresh perspective, a positive outlook, and a renewed relationship with man you've given me, or the man you've given me. Help me see him with new eyes, new appreciation, new love, new compassion, and new acceptance. Give my husband a new life, and let it be me. In Jesus' name I pray. Thank you, Father. I thank you. I thank you for your message. I thank you for the guidance that we received. We seal that prayer. We affirm it. We decree it. And declare that it is so. For those of you that resonate with this message, I hope this was helpful. I really do. I hope this was helpful. I didn't want to be on here too long. I didn't mean to be on here this long, but it is what it is. But yeah, this was interesting, to say the least. I know I probably triggered some people, but it's okay. It is what it is. It's all in love, and yeah. Hope y'all enjoyed this. Whenever you watch this, many blessings to you guys. May you guys have sweet dreams and blessings. May God reveal to you things about your husbands or your wives. May God reveal those things to you, and you trust it, and you keep it safekeeping, and you build your strength within self and within God, yourself within God, and that when that person arises or arrives in your life, or that person and you are ready, that you both will be in a place of fullness in God, and that you guys can come together in that fullness, and there will be no eating and stripping and sucking each other of that. You will only edify each other, lift each other up, walk in the path of abundance together, prosperity and love and joy, okay? So that is my prayer for you guys. I hope that this message was helpful. And it's always much love, okay? Be easy on yourselves. I know, like, everything is crazy right now. I'm not even paying attention to that stuff that's going on in the news and all of that. I'm not feeding into that. So anyone that's, having some anxiety about that, stressed out, I send you guys peace, and that, again, that you seek that safe space within God, and don't allow the outside realities to mess with your peace, okay? Or anybody else to mess with your peace, okay? All right. So shall it be. Much love as always. Thank you guys so much again, and I'll catch you guys in the next message. Peace.